time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. And, you know, I want to always thank the people for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, get your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. But before we even get started, man, we had a big storm go through the city of Houston, man. And I tell you, it did a lot of damage. I want to send my heart out to everybody that got hit in Houston. I got hit myself, guys. You know what I mean? And we just got to pick ourselves up and keep going. But if anybody got hurt out there, man, if anybody got hurt, I haven't heard any news on that, man. I just hope and pray that it wasn't that bad or anything. I haven't heard about any death or anything like that. Brad, I don't know if you heard about anything. You're a lot closer right now. I'm in Florida. I was in Canada. And then I came to Florida and boom, it hit. So right now at home, I have no power. I know you was just telling me you just regained power about an hour ago. And I know it's a lot of people in the Friendswood area. I know a half of Friendswood I was reading was out of power. So I don't know what you done heard, but I just want to send my heart out to everybody that got hit in Houston and surrounding areas with this big storm.
Yeah, man. You know, it was one of those things to where a week ago, it was like, oh, it's going to hit Mexico. You know, I mean, and you don't want a hurricane to hit anywhere, but it looked like it was going to miss our area. And then the last couple days, man, it decided to turn north a little bit, and we got the rough side of it. I'll tell you, Book, I woke up about 4:00 in the morning it came in, and I'd never seen trees blowing this way. Now, we've had several hurricanes, even in my lifetime, at least a half dozen or more. This one had these trees blowing halfway over. A lot of trees in my neighborhood taken out by the roots. And this is a hurricane. This is a category 1 hurricane. Yeah. This is a 1. It goes up to 5. Mm-hmm. And all the damage that I've seen driving into town, those your favorite, the palm trees over there on 45 have all been knocked off, and then a lot of billboards knocked over. A lot of damage. So there's going to be a couple weeks worth of cleanup, and I know couple million people still without power. Thankfully, like you mentioned, I got mine back an hour ago, but I slept in the house all day yesterday, no power. It's unfortunate. It's one of those things, but this city is unlike any other city I've ever been to in the history of this planet, and we come together and we help one another out when things like this happen. So hopefully the recovery efforts are swift, quick, and complete.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to get back home tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't have any flight troubles or anything like that, any cancellations. Because I feel helpless right now. I mean, I really do, being here and knowing that my wife and my kids, my mom, is at the house right now, and there's no power. And I told Charmel to go get in the RV and put it out in the front yard. So that her and Kendrick tried to move the gate, and the rest of the gate just blown away. But the one part right in front of the RV is still there, right? So they go to try to move it, and a big branch is stuck in between them. And so they can't even move the RV from the back to the driveway, So I'm like, I can't wait to get this day over with so I can it's been the longest day for me. I woke up probably like about 6:00 this morning, and I just been twiddling my thumbs, wondering what can I do, and I know I can't do anything.
I know it is rough. It is rough to be helpless, and I mean, I spent half the day yesterday just driving around, get out of the house and get a little AC and charge my phone, but just driving around and seeing, I mean, every fence blown down, every tree knocked out of the roots, power outages everywhere. Still today. And for the Houston area, I know they say by end of day, Wednesday, that's the 10th, I believe, everything should be restored. But it's also dry in Texas.
I got to get home, man, so I can try to salvage some of that wood. No, because the thing is, right now with the storm come through and blowing everything down, it's going to be a shortage. As far as wood goes. It's going to be a wait time as far as being able to, get that kind of stuff put back up. So for me, I'm like, man, let me get home and try to make sure I salvage what I got so we can try to get back up and running as soon as we possibly can, man. So like I say, I feel helpless. I can't do anything. I'm going to get home 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to hit the ground running. But man, I just want to send my prayers out, thoughts and prayers to everybody who got hit, man. This is the first time I think I've gotten hit like this, this bad. Like half of the gate went down last time it went down, but this time the whole damn thing. And I'm like, baby, call the insurance company, see if they can help us out on this. Last time they definitely flaked out on us, told us it was all wind damage, and we got to figure out how to get past. I gotta get a good lawyer, in this case right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call Walker.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I mean, the only thing that's more of a work than pro wrestling is insurance companies. I'll tell you what. Oh, we believe it's wind-driven rain. Well, yeah, I would think so in a hurricane.
Yeah. That's all you can do is laugh about it. But no, man, I'm hot about it, man, because a lot of money came out of my pocket last time. That gate went down, and I don't know what other kind of damage I got. I won't really know until I get home and really dig in the weeds. School turned out to be okay. Reality Wrestling, Walker, Texas, Florida Arena. Kevin said we got a couple of leaks, and other than that, everything was okay. The LED board that we just put up on the outside is still there. Thank God. Thank God it's still there. You know what I mean? I'm sure it took some damage and a beating, but a testament to Chinese.
They know how to build things. That's where we got the LED board for people wondering.
Yeah.
But and which is good news that Reality Wrestling is still working and in working order, because of course, Revolution Rising this Saturday from the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena. Oro Mensah taking on Edge Stone for the Reality Wrestling Championship is our main event. So we're glad that we can still put on a show for folks. As of now, all systems are still go.
Yeah, man. And speaking of all systems, I'm like I said, just coming back from Toronto, Canada. Money in the Bank was just held there, but I was there for Heatwave, and what a wave it was, man. But the thing is, I want to talk about my 2-star standouts from Money in the Bank as well as Heatwave. I don't know what your thoughts as far as the fallout of Money in the Bank, as well as the fallout from Heatwave, as far as who was the guys that came out smelling like roses. Who do you got?
As far as Money in the Bank goes,
yeah,
or Heatwave?
Money in the Bank first.
Well, Money in the Bank first, I say that our star pupil from Money in the Bank is, of course, Tiffany Stratton going out there and getting the job done.
That is.
She's
All right.
Money in the Bank.
All right, let's move on. Heatwave. Who's no, I'm serious. Who was the standout star for you in Heatwave?
It's interesting. It's an interesting question. I mean, it would be hard for me not to say Roxanne Perez for going out there battling Lola Vice. 5 pop rocks to get the job done. It shows you the fighting spirit of Lola Vice, but still victorious as a Reality of Wrestling graduate. The young OG, even in a loss, showed me a lot in that main event as well. So there's a few that stood out. I feel like we have to really break down these cards. I mean, there's a lot.
I think for me at Heatwave, for me at Money in the Bank, it was Tiffany Stratton. She definitely rose to the occasion. She's a star, baby. She's a star. But as far as Heatwave, I thought it was Ego. Oh, Ego. Ethan Page. We got Ethan Page. We got to get him on the show, man. We got to get Ethan Page here inside the Hall of Fame and talk about his journey. 17 years, man. 17 years to this point right here. Always wanted to be a part of the machine as far as WWE, seeing the stars, the past, and now he's, can go down as, and the thing is, I know most young people that have grown up watching wrestling. There's no way they can't wish they would be in that moment at least one time in their lives. Ethan Page, 6 weeks, man, 6 weeks since joining NXT, and now he's the NXT champion. What a ride this kid is on right now. What a ride Ethan Page is on. I don't know what your thoughts about Ethan Page, as far as, I don't know what all ego, but my thing is, when he was in AEW, I thought Ethan Page, and I'm not just saying this. I always thought he was a guy that stood out. I always thought like he wanted more. He wanted to be the front man. Yeah, and every time I saw him, he was talking. And it was something, I don't know what it was, but it was something about him. Okay. And now he's a part of NXT. I've liked his work since he joined the company. Him becoming champion is definitely a flip the script moment. Nobody really saw this coming. We were in the whoop that trick era. And then all of a sudden, boom! We changed gears, and now we're in the all ego. I like that part right there. Ego ever. But we got to talk about it, man. We got to take a quick break. Guys, you are inside the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. Blue Chew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Talking about Heatwave went down in Toronto, Canada. Man, I love Toronto, Canada. I love it.
Why?
No, man, because it's always it's got that LA vibe. It really does, man. It's always moving. I don't care. I'm like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It seems like it's daytime. Everybody's jumping. Everybody's moving around town. I'm serious. And it's always been that way, man. It's always been that way. I used to go to Toronto, Canada, many, many times back in the day, WCW. And, man, I found myself partying all night long. I told you I ran into and Farmer. You hit a guy who was Snow. That's his name, right? Snow. Yeah, I ran into him one night out in Toronto, Canada, on the corner, just hanging out, kicking it. You know what I mean? So, no, man, I've had so much fun in Toronto. You can always get you something to eat. Always get you something good to eat. And it's like Houston. You can find you if you got some money or a pistol, you can find you something to eat. And one of the I'm just messing. I'm just playing. But now, man, I've had so much fun in Canada. But now for these young guys, NXT young guys, to get a chance to experience that at this stage in the career is really, really cool. I know I saw a lot of the guys, man. It was, couldn't wait to get out and go just see the city after the show and whatnot. And I must say, everybody on the card, from top to bottom, even the kickoff match with the tag team, the ladies went out there. My girl, JC Jane, the rock star, showed up. Everybody on the card showed up and showed out. in Toronto, Canada. I just want to give those guys a round of applause and a pat on the back. Seriously.
Well, I want to let's get back to Ethan Page. I want to talk a little bit more about Ethan Page. 6 weeks, comes in, gets the job done. He's the NXT champion. Now, this is something that he couldn't do when y'all were in Vegas. Came back, boom, gets it done in a fatal 4-way. I will say this. I love, without getting too much into it, I love how NXT, how they set up certain things so that even in loss, everybody still looks good. They're very good about doing that. But when it comes to Ethan Page, him winning the title in the fashion that he won it, I feel like is good for Ethan Page. Do you know what I mean by that? Not only the fact that he won it, the way that he won it, it gives other people a gripe, but it would make me hate him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the way that in which he became the champion, it's almost like if you're playing pool and somebody accidentally hits the 8 ball in and you win by default, you still win.
Yeah.
And you have the bragging rights of winning, but did you really win like 100%? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I mean, I'm not against the way he won it. You know what I mean? If he would have won it differently, I mean, it wouldn't have bothered me either. But the way he won it definitely still keeps him in that heel mode, which that's what you want to do, is keep the guy in the heel mode, keep him on track as far as, being that villain. But I was listening to actually I was reading something about Ethan Page, how he got the phone call. He said he was on a layover on his way to an independent show, and somebody called him and said, it was WWE, and they wanted to offer him a contract, and he was like, he thought it was somebody kidding. He thought they were playing, and, he's like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever they offered him. He said he'll take it. He hung up, went to the independent show, and then he got home, and they had called him and told him, about the contract, and he goes, wait a minute, that phone call was real? And then boom, he's in the company, just like that, not really thinking about it. But just let you know, something I talk about all the time as far as your name. If you're good and the radar is on you, your name will get there before you do. I really believe that. And I feel like a guy like Ethan Page, he fits perfectly in the NXT system, even though he's been in the business for 17 years. He doesn't look weathered. He doesn't look like a guy that's been, overused or anything like that. I think perhaps maybe the time in AEW may have helped him just because it gave him some exposure, because before that, Ethan Page being in the business 17 years, I didn't know him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But once he got
I agree with you.
my eye on him, and then next thing you know, boom, I was like, man, who is this guy? I mean, it was just something about it. I was like, who is this guy? Not really ever thinking or imagining he would be in NXT or in a WWE system. But I'm gonna tell you, he fits in perfectly from my eye.
Well, I will say this, because you said when you saw him in AEW, you thought, hey, this is a guy who's got talent. Maybe he could be something. Maybe he could do something. When I saw him in AEW, this is just me being 100% honest, I didn't think that there was anything that stood out to me, right? He seemed like another guy on the roster. And this is a perfect example of when you have an idea for somebody and you put that quote-unquote push around them and present them in a certain way, all of a sudden, you, as an audience member, I look at them differently. Like if you go back to ECW, if Taz was on the WWF or WCW roster at the time, would have never given him a second look. It's just a guy.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Oh no, hold on. Let me finish. But the way that ECW presented him as the Samoan submission machine, or not, I'm sorry, that's Samoa Joe. You know what I'm saying? What was his name? What was his moniker?
He was the submission machine. I can't remember I can't remember. We'll think of it. Yeah,
came out with the towel. The aura around Taz made him feel like such a bigger deal by the way that he was presented. And when I see Ethan Page, the way he's presented it in NXT, to me, it's almost a 180 from what I saw with him in AEW. AEW is in a faction. He kind of talked, but he was kind of on the sidelines. He was with Scorpio Sky. They gave Scorpio Sky the strap. Ethan Page was never really positioned as somebody who
never was. No, he never was.
But 6 weeks, I don't question him as the NXT champion. That's what a presentation can do. With the right look, the right human suplex machine. Thank you, Eddie Kane, Main. I knew I was close. With the right presentation, somebody can become a star very quickly and be legitimate within the fans' eyes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of it is the music.
Music helps.
That music, man. I'm gonna tell you, bro. I'm bought in. I love it. I mean, as soon as it plays, man, I mean, it's got a beat to it, and I'm like, man, this might be something. It's just like Trick Williams music. It's got a beat. It's like Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, his music had a whole lot to do with his aura, and if you capitalize off that, I think Ego has. It could definitely take you to that next level.
Reminds me a lot of someone like Bobby Roode, right? Like Bobby Roode when he came into NXT, he's Bobby Roode from TNA, but they gave him that glorious theme, and his whole package changed. He has the robes and the big entrance.
Yeah,
and it became synonymous with him, and it almost helped. The music can help you get over more, right? I mean, you can be over, but if your music's over, look at Jey Uso.
Yeah,
like Jey Uso's entrance is over.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's a thing. And so I'm happy for Ethan Page, and I'm interested to see where he and Trick go from here. NXT is also really good about not having too long of a title reign. They like to keep things interesting. It's not like on main roster where you'll see guys hold the title for 2 years or a year or almost 4 in Roman Reigns' case. It's very much, hey, you got your run with it. Let's move on to the next story. Let's try to keep things fresh and interesting. But I feel like Trick Willie didn't get pinned. So Trick Willie deserves a rematch.
No. I mean, as well as to be able to pad the stats, man. That's what it's really all about being. I padded my stats. I became 4-time world champ in 1 year. Seriously, in 1 year, man, I was 4-time world champ. So man, who knows? Who thinks about that? Nobody cares. But when I say it 6 times, man, that sounds real good. For the stat factor, you know what I'm saying? 6 times? Oh hell yeah, man! But no, man, Ethan Page is the guy to watch, and we're gonna get Ethan Page here inside the Hall of Fame. Get his thoughts on what this ride has been like for this past 17 years, man, because it's a long time, man. It's really almost that. I'm serious, man. It's almost reaching that tenure in this business is for 20 years, man. A lot of people wish they make it in this business, make it at this level for 20 years. I made it at the top level for 20 years. I was in a big company for 20 years. Ethan Page been grinding, grinding all his life. Sacrificing, hustle, paying the price, grinding all his life. You know what I mean? So we're going to see if we can get him here inside the Hall of Fame to get his thought process on what that grind been like, man, because I wonder myself if I would have had it in me to grind out there on that independent scene for 17 years. I don't know. That's the question. Stick around, man. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, beach babes and beach bros. Are you ready to soak up the summer vibes and strut out with your ultimate beach bod? Well, good news, because our friends over at Manscaped have got you covered from head to toe.
Oh, yeah, Brad. We're talking about the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one grooming kit that's a total game changer for your summer look, man. With Manscaped, you're not just grooming, you're unlocking confidence you need to turn heads this beach season. Oh, yes.
That's right, Booker. And we're talking 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And because you're listening to us, you get a special deal, 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Man, let me tell you about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This bad boy got a summer makeover. It's waterproof, perfect for those splashy pool parties and beach hangouts. And don't get me started with the Weed Whacker 2.0 for those pesky nose and ear hairs.
Oh, and after you trim, you've got to try the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion. Say goodbye to chafing and hello to comfort all day long. Plus, the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, absolute must-have for those hot, sunny days.
Hey, and don't forget, every purchase come with a little extra free Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo. Talk about comfort and style that fits like a dream. You're gonna love it, I guarantee.
So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code Booker.
Yeah, the summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped and keep you looking and feeling cool.
Jump on this deal, y'all, and stay groomed this summer with Manscaped. Your beach bod deserves the best.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Talking Toronto, Canada, man. Heatwave went down this past weekend, as well as Money in the Bank. Anything else stand out as far as Heatwave for you?
Well, yeah, I want to ask you what you thought of Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez. Lola, it seemed like Lola was positioned as a fan. When I was watching, I thought, oh, this is Lola's night. She's gonna get it. Straps coming to her. But Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, was just a couple of steps ahead. 5 pop rocks to get Lola Vice down for a 3 count. You had the best seat in the house, including when they did a pop rocks on that announcer table. What was going on in your mind about this match?
You know, Roxanne Perez, she stepped it up, man. She's special. She really is. She really truly is special inside that square circle. Like I haven't seen too many come along that picked it up as quick as she did. I mean, from a psychology perspective, knowing how to. One thing I always talk about, Roxanne, she's not the biggest, one in the room. She's never going to be the biggest, chick in the fight or anything like that. But like Shawn Michaels, she knows how to project. And that right there is something that is so uncanny for somebody so young in this business. A lot of people may not understand what I'm talking about. It's what I call the intangibles, man. She knows all about the intangibles, man. She doesn't miss anything. She makes sure she dots every I and cross every T, man. She takes it apart, puts it back together the exact same way. And I tell you, what a class, man. What a class, because I talk to her all the time, and we had a we had such a cool. Such a cool conversation after that match, and I just want to say, Roxanne Perez, she's not that little girl anymore. She's a grown ass woman.
Boom. Well, Book. One more thing I wanted to ask you about NXT Heatwave, and it's what a lot of people want to know. Specifically, before the show even started, there was controversy, major controversy.
CM Punk.
No.
Oh.
All over social media, people were wondering why Booker T doesn't believe in Joe Hendry. You tore up a Joe Hendry sign before the show.
No, Joe Hendry. That was on the back of it. On the front of it was Vic Joseph, keep Booker T in check, keep him in line or something like that. So I didn't know Joe Hendry was on the back of it.
Well, so the internet thinks that you don't believe in Joe Hendry.
Nah, man, I don't know a whole lot about Joe Hendry, but he had a sparring moment in NXT. I hope to see a lot more. He's a good-looking kid. I want to see more of Joe Hendry.
Well, the show ended with a flash of him on the screen. NXT Heatwave. What we saw at home, I don't know if it was in your monitor.
I didn't see that.
The last thing that was on the show was a quick flash of Joe Hendry smiling, and then y'all went to black.
You know what? I have nothing against Joe Hendry. I love to see. I haven't got a chance to see any of his work. My thing is, let me ask you, is he any good?
So I haven't seen any of his work.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But his
Joe,
name has reached us.
No, wait a minute. His only reason his name reached me because his ass was on NXT. All right, if he wasn't there, I wouldn't know who the hell Joe. He's got to show me something. All right, show me something, Joe Hendry. I'm not the type of guy that's just gonna fall in love with you because you're a handsome kid. That's not. You got to show me. Perform. All right, perform. Son. What? Perform.
Don't call a man good looking and then tell him to show me something. You know what I mean? You might want to
look
back that statement up.
No, look here, man. I'm not like that. You know me. No, I'm just saying. No, I mean, if he was a kid coming into NXT, I mean not NXT, reality of wrestling, and I said, just like when I saw you, what did I say to you? What did I say?
Good looking kid.
I said you're a good looking kid. You know, yeah. I might could use you around here, reality.
Right.
That's just the way I am. All right. I don't have, you know.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
But doesn't he fit that thing of his name has reached us before? Because I'll tell you what, his name is everywhere online, and I don't get to watch a lot of TNA, and that's the reason I haven't seen his work. But I've seen his name everywhere.
Yeah. I've seen his name everywhere as well. Like I say, when I see his face, I say, like I say, this is a good looking kid. I say, let's get him in the ring. Let's see exactly what he can do. Let's put the rocket on him and send him to the moon if he's good. I'm not going to just endorse this kid just because he's got a name and he got some blood. I want to see him in the ring. I want to see his performance, because if it's all of the other stuff, it means nothing. If he can't work. All right. I've seen a lot of guys in this business. I don't want to call their names or anything like that, but they look good. But as soon as the bell rang, you say, what the hell is going on here? This guy can't work. What are we doing here? It's a lot of guys like that. And I want to see, I want to see if he can pass the test more than anything. Pass the BT test. He's already passed the airport test. All right.
Pass the airport test.
When you see him walk through, you say, hey, babe, who's that kid? He might be somebody if he's dressed the right way. I've never seen him out of the ring as well. I don't know what he dressed like. He might dress like a bum. All right. You know what I mean? If he dressed like a bum, like I said, none of this means nothing. All right. So we'll reconvene on Joe Hendry.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see what he has to do. And it looks like he's going to be coming back to NXT. So we'll all be on the lookout.
We'll tell you right now, his ass better show me something.
Hey man,
because I'm gonna tell you, all the guys at NXT, they know if it ain't right, they better not come talk to me.
If they don't want to hear the real, huh?
Because I'm gonna tell them.
Well, I think that was really the majority of NXT Heatwave. But let's go back to Money in the Bank for a couple seconds, because there's some big stuff that came out of that show. First off, let's expound on Tiffany Stratton. She's now Miss Money in the Bank. Meteoric rise in NXT, continues that rise in the main roster of the WWE. She's now lined up to be the next women's champion. What do you think overall of Tiffany Stratton's run so far, and do you like her being Miss Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, you want somebody like that to really be able to make a mark and really be able to make a staple. Instantly. You don't want to wait. And with somebody like Tiffany Stratton, she's the star. I recognize that in NXT very, very quickly. And she hadn't been in the business, 3 years? Yeah. So she's definitely on the trajectory where her star is still rising, man. It's still rising. She's still young. So with someone like that, you don't want to miss the boat on them. You don't want to drop the ball. And for her to be in line to become WWE champion says a whole lot about, not just the company and how they've been able to manage her to that point, but how much hard work she's put in to get to that point. Because I'm going to tell you, you don't slip on a banana peel and find your way in that position. That's just not the way it happened. The only way you find your way in that position is you are like head and shoulders above like a lot of the guys and girls in the locker room. That's it. It's the only way, especially these days. It's like, it's not a lot of clicks these days where you can find your way to it, as well as so many young people trying to get in it and trying to get that position. So Tiffany Stratton has done a hell of a job And now she's missed Money in the Bank, getting ready to take it to the next level when she becomes champ. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so there was also an interaction between her and Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, of course, the host of Money in the Bank in Toronto. When we had Trish on this show a few months ago, she mentioned Trishy time versus Tiffy time as something that might interest her to come out and do it all over again. She said that on this show. What do you think? Do you think we should see Tiffy time versus Trishy time? Would you like to see that match?
Yeah, heck yeah, man. I mean, why not? I mean, Trish Stratus, she still got it. We know that.
Yeah,
we know Trish. I mean, when she rolled up in the, what was she driving?
I don't know what. It looked cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what car it was.
She rolled up and then jumped up out of it. You could look at it and tell, wait a minute, she can still go. Oh yes. So yeah, no, I can't wait to see Trish versus Tiffany Stratton. I think that'll be a hell of a marquee match anywhere. I mean, especially, can you imagine if they did it in Canada?
I know.
Man, it would be off the chain. So for me, I'm just hoping I'm booked for that show because I got to see it more than anything. So nah, man. Trishy versus Tiffany, that would be definitely, like I said, a marquee match. It not just in Canada, man. Anywhere in the world. WrestleMania, man. Book it 25, man. We got to talk about 25 and a certain special person. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everybody, Brad Gilmore here with the one and only Booker T, and today we're not just talking about wrestling, we're talking about something that's changed the game for both of us personally, and that's Mando Whole Body Deodorant.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. You know, the most valuable thing in the world could be that #1 draft pick or home field advantage throughout the playoffs, but you know what's second? Time.
Absolutely, Book, and let me tell you, managing body odor, that used to eat up a lot of time. Always worrying about it, especially around midday, but not anymore since we started using Mando.
Yeah, but tell them why, Brad.
Well, Mando isn't like those other deodorants that just mask the odor with heavy fragrances. Mando stops odor at the source. It blocks bacteria on your skin from breaking down sweat, which, by the way, is what really causes that BO.
And it's clinically proven to control that odor for up to 72 hours. Now that's long-lasting, man.
It really frees up so much time since switching to Mando. I've even perfected my half-court shot, believe it or not.
Man, that's awesome. And let me add, I've been using Mando everywhere. Pits, grundles, and even those stinky crevices. We all got. It's aluminum-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Designed by a doctor who knew what was up about body odor, man.
And for our listeners, we got something special. New customers can get $5 off the Mando starter pack. That's over 40% off. Just use our code BOOKER at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com.
Use shopmando.com. Check out their starter pack. Brad and I would not steer you wrong.
With Mando, you're really taking care of your body odor anywhere and everywhere. Give it a try and let us know what you think.
All right, now back to wrestling. But remember, control your body odor anywhere, anytime with Mando, and save big with the promo code Booker at shopmando.com. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I know we're just talking about 2025, but is anything else you want to talk about as far as Money in the Bank?
Well, unless we're going to discuss a big announcement that happened there, which I think is what you're leading into. I will say the other thing I wanted to point out, Drew McIntyre, of course, won the Money in the Bank ladder match, went out and cashed in later that night unsuccessfully thanks to CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre went berserk over there on the kickoff set and was suspended. He's suspended indefinitely. Moving up. Now, I think if you were at that table, that wouldn't happen.
Well, no, like I said, I was just going to say, I'm glad he went off on the kickoff set. I hope he tore every damn thing up. You know what I mean? So I don't care about that.
But he's been suspended indefinitely. And I will say, WWE, the way that this Drew CM Punk thing has been set up, And it almost seemed like it wasn't ever the exact plan. Drew just started taking some shots at Punk, especially when Punk went down with injury. And then now they've set up this blood feud, which can only lead to one place, which is SummerSlam. Seems like maybe Seth is going to be involved in that as well. I'm not sure. But I just love that there can be a feud that we care about, that's a main event level feud that doesn't have a championship attached to it. This is an old school rivalry.
No, I love it, man. It's just like when I was sitting at the desk at the kickoff booth, and Drew McIntyre was the guest, and he goes, "Come on, Book. You know this guy." And I'm like, he just brought that out. I'm like, come on, bro. Don't bring me in this. I got no heat already. I'm okay with this guy. But no, he's totally making this as real as it possibly can be. It does not seem like Drew McIntyre and CM Punk are friends in any way, shape, or form. From a storyline perspective and from a realistic perspective, that's the way Drew has made it feel.
Yeah. And Punk has done his job of interrupting Drew at every possible scenario, whether it be Clash at the Castle and again at Money in the Bank. And it's really making it feel like a blood feud that we haven't seen in quite some time, because it seems like all the memorable feuds recently have been over a championship, or a championship has been involved in the story. This one has no title involved. It's just straight up, I hate you. Well, I hate you more. Let's duke it out. And I'm loving that. But coming out of Money in the Bank, really the big news, BT, is John Cena. Yeah. John Cena came out and made an announcement that 2025 will be his last year as a professional wrestler inside the squared circle, and he's going on the John Cena retirement tour. What do you think about that when you heard the news?
No, man. I mean, he's put in the work. He's the GOAT. He's the guy that I don't know. He's done so much for the business, man. He really has. He's been an ambassador in so many ways. A lot of people don't see the work that John Cena, did to get to that point, right where he is now, as far as this level of, stardom in professional wrestling as well as Hollywood. But John Cena was the guy that would, be making sure he's picking up the trash, in the locker room, just so the boys wouldn't look bad, to the staff that's coming in that's got to clean the place the next day.
Right.
He'd be the first guy to show up, and, he would be the last guy to leave, every time. He was that young guy that was, coming up that I'd never heard complain one time. I don't remember John Cena ever giving me any advice once. I'm serious. I don't remember John Cena ever giving me any advice. I always gave him advice, and he always listened. You know what I mean? He always took it and made something out of it. That's why he's, the greatest of all time. He's a guy that, there was a lot of us around John Cena that saw the star in John, and like I say, everybody liked John because he was a student of the game. He wasn't one of these guys that had his, head, somewhere that it didn't supposed to be, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he was the student, man, and to watch him grow over those years, the Make-A-Wish stuff, you don't understand how hard it is to actually have to do that kind of stuff and do it with your heart, not just do it because somebody's making you do it because they're paying you to do it, or something like that, but to really do it because of what you got in your heart. That's that dude. That's John Cena, man. So he's put in so much work, man, to see him retire and go out, on his, in his way, on his own terms is awesome, man. It really truly is. When I heard the news, I just wanted to say congratulations to John Cena. Last time I saw John, it was at the PC not too long ago, maybe, I don't know, 6 months. And we ran into each other and like, Shakespeare, what's going on? It was what, we just kept walking past each other. And then and we got maybe, I don't know, 10 yards. And he goes, "Hey, Book." And I turned around, he goes, "How you doing, man?" I'm doing all right, John. How you doing? But it was just that moment. For a second, he had to stop and ask me how I was doing, which was really, really cool. Yeah.
Well, I will say, we knew that our time with John Cena was winding down just based on Father Time itself. He was 47, almost 48 years old, I believe. And I know he had said he didn't want to wrestle past 50. But what I like about this is that he's telling us in advance, hey, look, this is my last year. I'm going to do 30 to 40 dates is what he said. So 30 to 40 matches. It's not like it's one match that we're going to see him at. It's going to be a whole year, kind of a farewell tour, if you will. And he seems very, very strong about this. You know, sometimes, hey, wrestlers or entertainers of any kind, whether that be athletes, wrestlers, musicians, actors, they all say, hey, I'm going to step away, and then something draws them back, almost every time. And I understand. But John seems like, no, I'm not taking another bump. You're not going to see me in jorts. I'm not doing a special referee spot. I'm not coming out in my gear ever again. He said, if you see me again after this, I'm going to be in a suit and tie, and I'm going to be a fan.
Yeah.
So to me, I have a few questions on this, and I'm sure people will chime in. Is there, since he's going to have 30 to 40 dates, are there any names that jump out at you to say, I want to see John lock up with so-and-so?
Nope.
No, because for me, I got several.
I mean, for you, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? But for me, nah, man, whatever John does, whoever he chooses to work with on his way out, it's going to be his choice. But I have no, thoughts or interests in who it should be. That's going to be all on him.
Well, I want to see John versus, this is just a couple, wish I want to see happen.
Yeah, I get it.
I want to see John and Cody, maybe him go for that 17th world title. If we get John and Roman again, that'd be great. John and CM Punk, they're back in the same company. How do you not do it? John and Randy, Braun Breaker is a name I'd like to see him mix it up with. Carmelo Hayes is a name I want to see him mix it up with. Those are just a few that popped in my head as if I'm booking John Cena's farewell tour, what are the hits that we need to play, and what are a couple new cuts we want to see on the album? And those are just 6 names that popped in my head instantaneously. And let me ask you this. Do you think we see a 17th world title run for John Cena and set the record before he walks away? Do we see the 17th world title?
I don't know.
Would you like to see it?
Well, no, I wouldn't put the title on him just because of it's the farewell tour of John Cena. That's not what I look at when I think about wrestling. No, I wouldn't do it because if you put it on him, he's going to have to defend it. He's going to have to go out and perform. He's going to have to perform on a regular basis. And for John to be a part-timer, like something he said he would never be, never want to do when The Rock was doing it, that would be kind of hypocritical, for me, you know what I mean? So no, I don't see that happening. I mean, personally, I don't even see John Cena having 30 matches. I see John making 30 appearances, but I don't see him having 30 matches. It's not something that John Cena really, really needs to do. To see John Cena is one thing. To see him wrestle is something totally different. Put myself in position to get hurt on my way out is not something that I'm looking to do to please, guys like you.
Guys like me. I think that
I'm just being honest. I'm just being straight up.
He didn't need to please anybody, but
but you sitting up here talking about I want to see him against this guy.
I think he has 30 matches.
To be able to go out there and do that, that means John Cena is going to have to. That's like 30 WrestleManias. I got to go out and perform at my highest level with these guys. And if I don't, I'm not going to be the John Cena that people remember as the John Cena that they see go out there and do it the way I did it. No, I wouldn't want to. If I would, that's like Michael Jackson trying to do this 100 dates, whatever. It killed him. His ass was dead before he got started. You know what I mean? So no, I'm serious. The pressure to put on somebody to go out and give me 30 matches. No, hell no.
John's call.
No, he said you're gonna see me 30 times. You might
30 to 40.
Yeah, whatever. So dates.
But I doubt he says I'm doing 30
look,
40
we gotta
dates.
take a break, man. We gotta take a break, man. See that you getting me off time here. You're making me lose time. You're making me lose track of time here. Stick around, guys. You know, Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Guarantee. Oh, yes.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Anybody out there, you guys got your wish list. Make sure you get your wish list for Christmas coming up. Santa's he's on the move. He's on the move. So I just want to let everybody know that, just like Brad won his wish list of John Cena matches. Who you want to see John? I'm just saying, guys, get your wish list before it's too late. Because Santa knows who's naughty and he knows who's nice.
Look, I'm telling you, here's the thing. No, look, just listen to this. If somebody's planning a farewell tour, and they say I'm doing 30 to 40 dates, that does not mean I'm just going to come wave 30 to 40 times. That means I'm working.
Nah, that means I'm going to work some dates. But some dates.
Like you work them all.
No. I mean, you might want him to work them all.
No, I want him to do what he wants. But I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening at all. Because John Cena's doing a whole lot more than just this farewell tour. Can't be wrestling and then putting himself in jeopardy of getting hurt on a regular basis for the next year. It's not something that's smart. Come on, Brad. Come on.
See. How many matches
Brad, you smarter.
You think he has?
8.
No. If he's doing 30 to 40 dates, you think he's doing 8 matches?
8 matches.
No
look here, man. I think John Cena's work that he's got to do with the Shriners and underprivileged kids. I think some of those are going to be those dates, that he put in and really focus on more than anything. Me personally, I think
he talked about
make a wish. I'm sure he's gonna make his rounds with Make a Wish before he get up out of here. I'm sure he's going to continue to do that. But he's been it's been such a huge part of his WWE life. Is Make a Wish and working with kids. So I think those kids that's not going to see John Cena do this anymore. I think it's going to be very important to relegate some of those dates to doing some of that kind of stuff. I could be wrong, but I just don't see John Cena thinking about wrestling 40 days or 30 days.
Yeah. Well, I think we disagree on that one. I think that if I'm doing a farewell, I'm doing a farewell.
Look, man, you got a band. You ain't taking no bumps. You ain't taking no bumps.
No, but no.
You talking. You taking doing a farewell tour. You talking. You know what I mean? But
if I was a wrestler and I'm doing a farewell tour, like imagine if it's freaking the Rolling Stones and they do a farewell tour and they just come out and wave.
Okay. Listen, it would be different if John Cena was doing a farewell tour and he wasn't a part of WWE. All right. That way, it would be all about, how much revenue I can make in this tour. I don't think it's all about the revenue with John Cena.
I never
in
said
this tour. I think it's about completing this journey that John Cena has been on more than anything. And I don't think I could be wrong. You could be right. But me personally, I just don't think it has a whole like to do, at least not 100% to do with going out and performing in the ring 30 days. I don't know how. I don't know if you know how hard that really is and how hard it could be for someone 50 years old, almost 50 years old.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what you put your body through.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing it like the math because he said I'm gonna do the Rumble. I'm gonna do an Elimination Chamber. I'm doing WrestleMania. I'm doing SummerSlam.
That's
January
to
December.
Okay, that's
January
4.
to December.
Okay, that you just named out 4 or 5. What else?
There's 104 episodes of television every year.
I know it is. That's what I get that. But those are the ones that stuck out in my mind. You know, if John's going to do something over this next year, they might be the big shows, and it might be 5 of them.
Well, we'll see. Look, we have 2025 to wait for it. So we'll see what happens.
Bro,
January to December.
Look, man, I'm normally right on stuff like this.
Okay, we'll see. Just bookmark this.
Look, bro, I'm normally right on stuff like this. You know, I'm
So
just saying.
you think 8 matches is what we're setting it at?
Perhaps.
Well, what's your number?
It could be more or less.
All right. Well, you called him the GOAT. That's what you just referred to him as. Is John Cena in the conversation as the greatest of all time? Is he on the Mount Rushmore of WWE?
From statistics?
From what you're
no, from statistics and ticket sales? Yeah, hell yeah.
15 years on top.
I mean,
main event,
I
16 world titles.
I'm not looking at, guys going out and titles and all that. I'm talking about statistics and ticket sales. He's done more than most. Is he in the conversation? Hell yeah, most definitely he is. So that's without a question, without any shadow of a doubt.
Because his run on top was longer than Hogan's, longer than Rock's, longer than Austin.
Oh, way longer than Austin. Yeah.
It's hard to not put him. If you WWE, hold on, I glitched out there for a second. If you look at WWE, it's hard to not put him as, he's definitely on the Rushmore of WWE. Now, if you want to open that conversation to all of wrestling, it gets hard. But if you want to talk about a run on top, and like you said, merchandise and ticket sales.
No, the thing is, you said it, you framed it properly. Is he in the conversation?
Yes.
Yeah. Nope,
absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt, without even without any question.
It's without a question. Without a question. Now, you worked John Cena several times.
Best of 5 series. Best of 5.
Throughout his illustrious career, you had the best of 5 series, of course, over the United States Championship, I believe. Your last match with John Cena, coincidentally, took place in the main event of a pay-per-view right here in Houston, where it was you, Cena, Lashley, Foley, and Orton for the WWE title. That was the final time that you wrestled John Cena, according to this database.
Man.
For last time being in a main event. But just tell me, like, what are memories of working with John in the ring? Was he as strong as people say he is? Kind of give me your assessment of him as a worker when you got to lock up with him.
Well, John was young when I first started working with him, but he learned very, very quickly. I never had a problem with John in the ring as far as him knowing what to do. We got a thing in the business where you get a guy the keys, you better know he's driving. John always knew he was driving, when he got the keys. So I never had a problem with John from that perspective. We didn't have to talk a whole lot. There was a lot of feel. That's why when I talk about John and I mentioned Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, Phantom of the Opera, that's why John and I went out and worked a lot. A lot of shows, you didn't even see with John and I was on the house shows, and John and I, we wouldn't even talk to each other at all. We would just go out in the ring and perform. And I was literally, if I don't say that word properly, it just doesn't come out right. I'm serious. On those house shows, I was just teaching them, man. I was just trying to school them and trying to, teach them the art, of performing. And he loved it, man. He would not question me at all. He would just go along with it. We knew the finish, and we would perform. And it grew from that point to where I could trust him in the ring. didn't have to think twice about, if he was going to be in the right place, if he was going to do the right thing, So for me, working with John, it was great to be able to have a little bit of peace in the growth of John Cena, and I think he would feel that way too, if you asked him that question.
Yeah, I think that when you go back and watch that first run in when he was on SmackDown, Eddie, he had some matches with Angle. Those are the guys I think about molding him, right?
JBL had a big part in
JBL,
it.
that's
Yeah.
another good one. JBL. Those are some of the guys that he worked with on SmackDown in that 03, 04, 05 range before he won the title that really got him to the level that he was going to be. But was it one of those things that when you saw him and worked with him, you're like, oh, yeah, this guy, he's going to be something. Maybe you didn't know he was going to be a top guy for 15 years, but you knew he was going to be something.
I don't know. It was just one of those things. You just felt something about him. Just felt like he had, he had a big heart. But like I say, for me, he was a kid that listened. You could tell he wanted it, but he wasn't willing. He wasn't going to step on any toes to get it or anything. He knew the protocol of the old school of the locker room etiquette and all that stuff. Something I talk about, knowing how to make it in the locker room if you got a chance to make it in the ring. He knew how to endure himself, but he wasn't no chump or anything like that. He wasn't no pushover. Wasn't nobody bullying John Cena. It just wasn't happening. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps I don't know. I don't know why that is, other than you could tell by the way a man walk. If he can handle himself. Maybe that was it. But John was always that guy that was one of the boys, and I had a great time and working him. I had a great time and trying to teach him the art of the performance. And I'm gonna tell you, nobody learned it better. His uncanniness when he performs. It may be unconventional, but it works every single time. That's what John Cena was, man. We got to stick around. We got to take one more break. I think we got one more segment coming. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute, man.
Can you dig it, sucker? All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Gee, guarantee. Oh, yes.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Just talking about that boy John Cena. It's over. It's over. 2025. He's done. Finished. Wrapping it up, man. So you guys better make sure you get your tickets. Anytime you hear that name, John Cena, coming to a city near you. But I know
he's just going to stand there and wave at everybody.
Hey, man, look here. I'm just saying. Look here. Mark my word. Mark my word. You count them. You count them. That's all you got to do. You count them. Count them over this next calendar, and we'll see. We'll see. How about that?
We'll see. Hey, Book, couple more things. We have a couple super chats I want to get to, and of course, there's some other news topics, but this came in breaking news so far as from a WWE announcer standpoint. Heard crickets of this being a possibility. Joe Tessitore is now officially a part of the WWE family, signing on. It seems like he's going to be now the lead play-by-play announcer on SmackDown, joining Wade Barrett and Corey Graves. Joe Tessitore, of course, longtime ESPN voice. You heard him in several big fight situations and sports situations. He was there at WrestleMania this year doing a lot of interviews for ESPN, part of the ESPN family, as are we. What do you think of Joe Tessitore joining the fold? Because here's the thing I want to ask you real quick before you answer that. I'm sorry. They've gone with regular sports guys before coming in and trying to have a more sports-oriented feel. You could think of what was his name? Adnan Virk, Jimmy Smith, even more Ranello coming in. To varying degrees of success. What do you think about Joe Tessitore, though, joining this company?
Hey, man, welcome to the family. Welcome to the team, Joe. I've been a big fan of his work in boxing for many years. You know, I'm a huge boxing buff, so I've heard the name Joe Tessitore for many years. And the boxing world, I'm sure, is ingratiated Joe Tessitore for many years as well, because he's really good at what he does. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's stepping into a different arena now. He's stepping into the wrestling world. So I don't know if Joe Tessitore know anything about the gram or Twitter. He better cancel all of that. Get rid of it, okay? Because the wrestling fans, they're unforgiving, man. They're unforgiving. It's a whole lot different. So he better have some thick skin. He better be prepared, and he better be ready to go when he step in the booth. Because, like I say, the fans are really going to be watching his every move.
I think he's going to do good, just from the standpoint of this is boxing, and MMA coming from that background. Because I thought Jimmy Smith did a pretty good job.
Well, Jimmy Smith did a great job. I really did. I mean, he adjusted. He wasn't in the beginning. It seemed like he was a little shaky with it, but there again, his preparation. I used to see Jimmy Smith, man, in the TVL where we would dress, and he would have his paperwork out, man, and he would just be writing notes after notes after notes. So he definitely did. And the thing is, I'm sure Joe Tessitore is that same kind of guy that's going to do his due diligence and prepare for the situation. So I'm just warning him before he get in there in that booth to be ready, because trust me, I went through it, and everybody that go in the booth goes through it. But I've noticed as of late, preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have.
Yeah, so I think Joe, coming from a combat sports background, will help him. But again, this is entertainment, and I think Joe's going to do okay. So yeah, like you said, welcome to the WWE family for Joe Tessitore. The other thing was, did you hear about Britt Baker? Britt Baker made her return to AEW, had been off for 10 months. We thought it was just dealing with some sort of injury, and it turns out she had a what's called a TIA, which is essentially a mini stroke.
Yeah, I heard about that. I read about that a few weeks back, that she had a mini stroke. I didn't talk about it because I really didn't know the what was really what about it. I just heard about it. But yeah, for her to have been off that long and to have to deal with something like that had to be pretty serious. Had to be pretty serious for someone like Britt Baker. She's pretty young to have gone through something like that. So me personally, I'm a big fan of Britt Baker. I've got a chance to hang out with her, smoke cigars. She's such a cool chick, man. So I'm glad to see her back. I'm seriously glad to see her back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that she was able to kind of get over that episode and heal up and take the time that she needed. Credit to AEW for allowing her to do that. And now it seems as though it's going to be her, Mercedes Moné, is what they're positioning. Really, I'd say the cornerstone of the AEW women's division is Britt Baker, and the new face, you could say, is Mercedes Moné. They're going to probably do battle at All In. Do you like that matchup on paper? I feel like it's the biggest women's match they can make.
Come on, man. The only damn women's match they can make. Let's be real here.
Well, when Sasha was first rumored of coming in, or Mercedes, excuse me, you said she's got to work with Britt Baker, and then who else she going to work with?
Well, come on, right? I'm not throwing shade. You just asked a question, right?
I just asked a question.
You just asked a question. Like for me, I mean, who else she's going to work with over there that's really going to make a whole lot of sense and really, of course, Paige. I mean, what's the new name?
Saraya.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Damn it, I'm sorry about that.
It's
Saraya.
hard.
Yeah, but Saraya, of course. But that's a match that we've seen before. It's not something that's new. It's kind of like rehashing the past. Saraya, when she actually went out for her injury, who was the one that put her out?
She had a massage. I mean, it happens.
So actually, no, to be able to come back to that, at the right time. Oh, we might have some money there.
Yeah,
right?
That's a money match.
It's a money match. Mm-hmm. So I think to do it with Britt Baker, that's a no-brainer. I mean, that's not even a thought. That's almost like keeping Jade Cargill away from everybody if you don't do it. Right? So do it. Get it done. Get it over with, and let's see where it goes.
Well, look, before we wrap up the show today, we do have a couple super chats to get to. And then we can see if we have any other topics we want to cover. But this comes from Ken Terminated DQ, who says, Booker, why don't most promotions see LA Knight as a top guy since he has all the tools? Would you have pushed Eli Drake, a.k.a. LA Knight, as a top guy in reality of wrestling?
No doubt, man. I don't know what it is about some guys that, certain people don't see, what certain people see in that same guy. I think LA Knight's a star. I thought, the rocket was on him. He was hot, super, super hot. He still is hot, but why, promoters don't go that route, I don't know. But for me, LA Knight he's a star. He's still a star. I think all he got to do is continue doing what he's doing, cream rise to the top, and hopefully he's going to be a part of that. Yeah,
I mean, and he was the TNA champion when he was there. He was, positioned as the TNA champion.
Yeah, but he's never really gotten that real shove.
I agree. But you know what? He comes out and the people are still there behind him. And so it's just a matter of time, I think, before you can't deny the people for too long.
No, I feel the same way. That's why I say if he just keep doing what he's doing, you know what I mean? Don't veer from the plan or anything like that. I'm sure frustration it always sets in when you feel like you should be somewhere and you're not. But for me, when those guys start thinking that way, there's a lot of them out there that think that way. When you start thinking that way, that's when you get your own wrestling company. I'm just keeping it real.
Well, we'll see what happens for LA Knight. I feel like he and Logan Paul are going to do battle there at SummerSlam for that United States Championship. But we'll see if my prognostications come true. Eddie Payne Maine says Gaspar is the next reality of wrestling champion.
He's already been the champ. He's already been the champ. Yeah. But his ass ain't getting it back. That's just the way it is. One thing about you don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah. That's one thing you don't do, man. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Somebody that bring you, all the way, to the top, you know what I mean, to the pinnacle, and then you want to turn on them. Yeah, Gaspar is just like, a lot of guys at reality of wrestling that I've gotten to the top, and they feel like they've gotten there. Then I got to break them down, show them exactly where they are in the pecking order of reality of wrestling. Oh, it's only one general there, man. One. And if Gaspar ever make it back to the top, it'll be under my expert tutelage. That's it. And that's final.
All right. Well, there you go. We'll have to see Revolution Rising, of course, this Saturday. Summer Champions 10.
And I will be there.
Summer Champions 10 is around the corner in August. We will see what occurs between now and then, and if Gaspar can regain that reality of wrestling championship.
Look, if Gaspar show up Saturday, I got something for him. How about that? If Gaspar Hernandez got the guts, the kahunas to show up on Saturday at Revolution Rising, I got something for him. and it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be real hot. All right. So I just want to get that out there. I want to thank everybody that's stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Give you champagne wishes, caviar dreams. And as always, Bradley, all the hard work. Till next time, peace. We love you. We out.